South Sudan has long been hit by climate change-exacerbated disasters like recurring droughts and floods. Now extreme heat is forcing the world's youngest nation to close its schools. The authorities have ordered schools across the country shuttered because of a wave of excessive heat that is expected to last at least 2 weeks. Temperatures are forecast to reach 113 degrees Fahrenheit, far above the 90-degree highs typically experienced in the dry season from December to March.
In South Sudan's Terekika, fishermen and their businesses are suffering under a severe heat wave in the small fishing village north of Juba. For communities living on the Nile, fishing makes up a significant part of their livelihoods. But many fishermen now have to throw away most of their catch as temperatures spike along with the cost of ice used to keep the fish fresh. Ayub Gimba Richard is a fish merchant. He buys fish from the local fishermen and brings them to the market. His business allows him to support his family, including his 4 children. However, Richard and his associates have spent the past few days watching helplessly as much of the catch has to be discarded. Ayub says the rising price of ice is making things more difficult because they need to buy more of it than usual in efforts to save whatever little fish they can.
We used to buy a block of ice at 6,000 South Sudanese pounds, but now a block of ice is 35,000 South Sudanese pounds. A block of ice is not enough to preserve the fish. It needs 2 or 3 blocks, and this is costly. And to make a profit out of this is hard. It's very hard.
An intense heat wave has prompted the government to close down all schools for 2 weeks. Juba residents are facing inflated price for ice and water as demand surges in response to the heat.
As Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization, I am now sounding the red alert about the state of the climate. There is, however, a glimmer of hope. Renewable energy generation is surging. In 2023, clean energy capacity additions increased by almost 50% over 2022.
The 2023 recorded between 80% to 90% of the ocean that recorded marine heat waves. So also the marine heat waves have a very strong influence on coral bleaching, and those are ecosystems that are very important for fisheries and for marine lives.
Muslims in South Sudan's capital city Juba are observing the fasting month of Ramadan under extreme heat. But community leaders like Sheikh Rifat Juba Abdullah Omar say they are finding ways to cool down while abstaining from food and water. To cope with the heat, Omar, who runs Suk Militia Mosque, says most people prefer to drink more water than eat food during iftar, the time when the fast is broken at dusk. Fans are installed in the mosque, but there are power outages. Ice blocks are deployed around to cool down, but the high demand means prices have gone up.
Yes, fasting during a cold season is different from fasting during a hot season. We acknowledge that there is a problem. All the people you see here are tired. I'm also tired. The rise in temperature affects the human body.
The World Meteorological Organization reported in 2022 that record high temperatures in the past few years are driving the frequent heat waves like the one felt in South Sudan. Experts say this is a result of warming global temperatures. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.